Let's do it. The Euros.
The Euro.
The Euros.
For all the marbles.
Wagga, you're supposed to make a noise you're the guest when the hippo hits the earth.
What?
Yeah, Wagga.
Yeah, make a cool noise, Wagga. You're slowing
the
us
hell?
down.
Okay, so Bat Rider Bench, first banned here by OG, and Monkey King Treant taken out by Alliance. Earth Spirit, the first pick in game 1.
Ooh.
We have not seen that yet, Slacks.
OG going for the big green. Who would have thought? Good hero still, Wagga Magaga?
Yeah, I think it's still strong, and it's more about the player than the hero. I think. I mean, OG just played very nicely, and they've used this hero so much in the past as well. So it's just comfort zone. I like the Treant ban though. That hero is monstrously strong. It's not a hero that you want to go up against. Smart by Alliance.
Oh, yeah, I have to agree with you there. But I like how you said that it's about the player. I would say that Earth Spirit is probably the #1 hero that it's about who's playing it. There's just so many different strats and play styles with that hero. So it's be fun to watch there. Crystal Maiden picked up for Alliance. Alliance, man, they want some
She's in
mana.
a pretty great spot as well right now. CM, I think her talents are pretty good, and she got so much stronger
Oh,
in
you like
late
the
game.
60 damage, is it, right? Level 10?
Yeah, it's
60.
it's crazy good.
Hell yeah. That was my favorite thing about that mini patch. I always thought that the 50 damage was a placeholder, but no. Ice Frog's like, this was on purpose, and here's... Oh, no! It's Ladies' Night over on Alliance. Wind Ranger and CM. Here comes
You
the
never
green.
like Wind Ranger, right?
No, but I
Is
mean,
that still a thing?
You
Have
know,
you changed your mind?
no, absolutely not. Still garbage. Absolute garbage.
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 Just fundamentally, what kind of hero do you need to complete a skill shot on to be able to do anything relevant in the game? What a
Well, here,
dumb
let me
idea.
ask you this, Slacks. Do you like her more as a 4 than you would as the old Wind Ranger,
No,
which was
I
mid?
would much rather have any reliable stunner as
If
my
you had to
4.
choose
Yeah.
between a 2 and a 4,
Oh,
would it
a
be?
4. Put as the least amount of impact as possible on Wind Ranger. Actually, not even, because then she needs to get 4 items to be fucking relevant. So it's...
so
ugh.
2.
I want a 0.
Okay,
Alright? Don't even
that
exist.
doesn't exist.
When Legion Commander picked up here. A little bit of lockdown. A little bit of fighty. What do you think about Legion, Wagga? Good hero?
It's a pretty good hero here. It's nice against the 2 heroes that you see on Alliance. They're just very squishy to duel, so easy food if you look at it from OG's perspective right now. And they can always Legion plus Earth Spirit together on the offlane. Pretty hard to fight against. Strong heroes. But overall, I just think Windrunner has a pretty hard time if he gets dueled in the mid game. You have to be pretty fast to get the Windrun off before the duel as well.
Yep. Well, let's see here. No
So here they're
Dazzle.
not. It's interesting that they're now banning for future games as well. You have to think like one step further on this. It's
Oh.
kinda
That's
interesting.
kind of what this feels like. Do you think OG are playing some heroes that are like off the beaten path? Because we haven't seen either of these heroes prioritized like this at all.
No.
It's coming. Were they saving strats for the EU final, Slacks?
Oh my god. Here we
We
go.
might see some Legion combo. I mean, when you pick Legion, you have to pick some quick burst with it, right? And so far they only have Earth Spirit. He's not really a bursty hero. So we might see Lina or Skywrath or some hero like that picked up from the support. Something that kills quick.
Wagga, do you think Arc Warden is as bad as everybody's saying? Do you agree?
It's pretty bad. I talked to, there's a guy in called Alex the Fool, big Arc Warden spammer. I talked to him about it and what he feels. That they're basically buffing the Spellcaster Arc Warden, but it's so bad to go for a Spellcaster compared to physical damage though. So he feels confused about the changes.
I see.
And the fact that he has lifesteal as a talent, I find that really strange. I don't see what he's supposed to do with that. But 30% lifesteal on his 25 talent is just kind of awkward.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird hero. Ever since the movement speed nerfs, I feel he is not picked at all anymore. In high MMR games, he just stopped appearing entirely.
Damn.
Yep. There's a little bit of a nerf can just make some hero disappear from high MMR.
I mean, it's probably best for Arc Warden, honestly.
Probably.
I'm fine with him being more underwhelming. Than
You know, we've brought it up a few times now, but Meepo, OG, one of the teams that might actually pick it, still in the pool, very scary carry.
That's a scary carry. Oh, look at that. We got another Kunkka. I think we've only seen one in elimination mode so far.
I think so, yeah.
And here he comes to return.
He got a nice little buff recently. They fixed the Tidebringer and to have bigger range again. Like, it had very small range. In the first Dota 7 change, they said that the AoE of Tidebringer and so on was virtually the same, but people did tests and it was really not the same. They buffed it now, so now he's quite good again. His
Yep.
talents are really good. Kunkka has some nice talents in him.
Didn't
15 HP regen on level 15, for instance, is
Sure.
crazy good. I don't see how you ever pick 15 movement speed over 15 HP regen.
Well, man, positioning is everything, right? No, but
Really not.
no, not really. But last Kunkka game that we saw was pretty interesting. I believe that he picked up a scepter and they used it as a counter to
Yeah, that was-
Disruptor's Glimpse.
I think that was
which pretty
Jerax.
cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
that was Jerax on OG. We'll have to see how Alliance measures up right there. But this game's probably over already, right? With
Yes, Slacks, it's totally over. 5
That's
heroes
how Dota
picked.
works.
It's all done.
I mean, it's
all about the
Jerax
Windrunner.
Earth Spirit. I mean, it's pretty much
Wow.
done.
I guess so.
It's
Warlock.
really interesting because Warlock has been untouched, like basically both banning and picking
Yeah.
through all games, and now we're seeing it in game 1.
Sure. Well, he got a nice sizable buff too. -7 seconds on last word, or
Well, and there's some
Shadow Word or
sick synergy with Warlock and Earth Spirit in terms of magnetize and fatal bonds.
Oh, God.
That gets nasty quick, but there he is, the big boy,
all right.
Omni Knight.
We're in. Well, no, actually, they're still gonna lose. Sorry. You have a win, Ranger. It's over. But Omni Knight pretty good against the Legion Commander, of course. Very good against Earth Spirit as well. Warlock, he's all right. He's all right. He can turn around one of those ults pretty good. But I don't know. I feel like Alliance is definitely lacking somebody reliable to deal some massive damage. They got a lot of stun. They got a lot of crowd control. They got a lot of survivability. But who's out there killing people? I don't know.
That is a
And
good
Lotus
question.
heroes yet to come.
I guess
I mean,
so.
there's still a good amount left over.
Oh.
Troll.
no.
That's a nice combo though, the troll and the Legion Commander. Now
Yeah.
they're gonna
Very
have
good
a lot of
combo.
right click during the duel, so the burst is now there. Even
Like
though,
that.
because I was a little bit worried when I saw the Warlock being picked up. It secures team fights really good, but now they have the pick off as well. Even just a solo Legion can kill a lot with a duel
Yeah,
right now.
I like this pick a lot. I'm a big believer in the troll now. Pretty much every time we've seen it, it's been successful. And not just, oh, yeah, they won and a troll was on their team. It's you get to that point where it's like, damn, how do you stop that troll?
Yep.
Now, do you get this game? Do you think you get Diffusal on Troll for the Omni ult?
Sure.
I think you do. Yeah, I think it's pretty strong.
But that's the
Probably-
trick, though, isn't it?
Probably worth to get it, but a lot of people are just going for heavy stats, maybe even a silver edge into it if you want to be more sneaky. And right now they don't have any Invis hero, so could be a nice pickup as well.
See,
I
that's
wonder
the
if
thing.
this is gonna be a probably just EGM playing the Windrunner, I guess. Wondering if they want to do a core Windrunner with the repel, but I don't think it's good against the duel.
Probably not. No.
Wraith King and Chen. Final bans here.
Interesting ban on that Chen. I guess they were worried about that. Would kind of round out their team pretty good. A little bit of push
It would
power.
be scary. The 5-man from OG would
Well,
then
that
be
would assume that Warlock
crazy
is
good.
core, right?
No, not necessarily.
With a
I don't
Chen?
think so.
Wouldn't it be Chen, Warlock, Earth Spirit? Who would be the core out of those three then?
Oh yeah, it would be if. Oh, sorry, I misheard.
Okay, last pickup here coming out from OG. I would rather they get like a natural diffusal builder rather than Warlock. That's kind of the strength of Omni too, is that you make guys have to build diffusal blade that don't really want to, and then they waste their time if you can
I
close
don't think
out
it's
the game.
that bad on Troll though.
It's
I mean,
it's not great though.
It's not like you're picking it up on like an Earth Spirit. You know, it's not
Yeah,
terrible
that's
by
true.
any means. It's very good agility.
Yeah, it's fine. Troll just the only big worry is that you probably have to go BKB at some point, and there are a few other items that you kind of have to go. And Diffusal is still sort of expensive, but that's just how Omni is. You have to counter him somehow, or he's gonna be very annoying.
Whoa,
Oh,
Queen
oh.
of Pain. Well, more good team fight damage. They've got a lot of AoE now. Huge burst.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the Warlock Fatal Bonds, they can do tons of damage very
Oh.
quickly now with overwhelming odds and Queen of Pain going in. They can just burst down people.
Plus
but-
Earth Spirit
Oh god.
and Battle Trance. I mean, Quap's one of those great cores that does a lot of magical burst damage, but also gets a lot of benefit from the Battle Trance from Troll. You know, she's
This
not upset
looks-
about getting more right clicks in.
This looks hard to salvage for Alliance in one pick, in my opinion, because
Yeah.
OG's lineup is like better at team fighting right now, and it's also really good at finding pickoffs. While Alliance lineup is also pretty decent at that, but it just seems like OG is a little bit more of a top lineup right now.
Hell yeah, man. They got team fight, they got push, they got gank potential, they got pretty much everything.
The big thing though is how the lanes play out. I guess they can still go for some interesting combos. I guess if they wanna. I'm not sure what they wanna pick on Alliance though. Trying to think exactly what hero could fit them here.
Yeah. Sven, I was actually
when
gonna
in
say
doubt, Loda wants Sven.
that. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
Sven and Omni Knight, not a
Worked
bad
before.
combo.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure. So, I don't know. We've seen Troll Warlord certainly ball out of control here in elimination mode several times, but my normal strat is when Loda gets one of his guys with a sword and a Q stun, it's going to be pretty
That's
good.
how it works.
I like your flow chart. Does Loda have sword? Alliance win. No sword, Alliance lose.
Sword and a Q stun.
And a
However,
Q
That's
stun.
why they banned
Okay.
the Wraith King.
Yep,
No.
it's Sven or Wraith King. That's what he wants, and that's what they
So
had to
game
get.
2, he's fucked, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
It's
better win
Dragon
this
Knight
one.
Loda. It's gonna happen.
but that's
I
a
don't know,
W.
guys. I
That's
want
a
to
W.
believe in the Alliance draft, but I think OG just has a very clear game plan, very, very good 5v5, and God, man, Alliance have to execute perfectly here, Slacks perfectly,
perfectly.
and that's going to be tough.
I would say that the Earth Spirit has to kind of throw in the early game for Alliance to win this one, and considering it's going to be the Jerax Earth Spirit, I don't think
You're
that's
not
going
wrong,
to happen.
actually. It kind of comes down to that. The laning stage has to go nice for Alliance. So
Exactly.
yeah, if Earth Spirit makes a few mistakes,
Right. So
That
Earth
lacks
Spirit has to
knowledge.
fuck up for Alliance to win, and it's a Jerax Earth Spirit. So we'll see.
he's
Yeah.
new to this hero. It's fine.
Yeah, no big deal, no pressure, but interesting. So does anyone, are we all on the side of OG? Is this a unanimous panel? Because that doesn't happen so often here for elimination mode. Suns fan, do you believe?
I believe in Troll. I'm a believer after the last
So
few
you
games
are
I've
for
seen him.
OG, okay.
You're for
Yeah.
OG. All right.
Well,
I'm trying to think about how Alliance wins. I can't. I just stare at that redhead and I say it's not gonna fucking happen. She just gives me that face like, ruining another one of your favorite teams. Here I go. So yeah,
Can't get past the Windrunner pick.
Can't,
Rest of
sorry.
the synergy
what
is
do you
lost
have
on
against gingers?
everything. Okay.
You're an absolute monster, Slacks. All right, gang. Well, we are going to be loading into game number 1 of Alliance versus OG. Again, this is I guess this is technically the winner bracket final of the EU side.
Sure.
So winner of this is the champion of the EU side of the bracket, and then they will be awaiting the
We
champion
can
of the
be
NA
cool
side.
and just call it EU Finals.
EU
Yeah,
finals.
the
Yeah, okay,
EU
that's the
finals.
proper word for it. But winner of this has one more round for the final
Indeed.
trophy.
All
And
right,
there we go. There's
draft's
the
coming
load in.
up.
So we've got Annie and Purge here for game number 1 of this EU finals.
Thank you very much, panel. I am here. I am Android, and I am joined by the lovely Purge once again. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. I'm excited about the draft. The first thing that sticks out to me is Windranger was heavily buffed. I know Slacks hates her, but normally she has to get that mana perk at 10. It's really important to her hero concept, but she's got a CM on her team. So I think this is significant because that means she could get the 25% win run slow instead because she's going to have guaranteed mana. And she's against a lot of melee heroes that are very kiteable, Troll Warlord as well as Legion. Maybe not very kiteable, they're fast, but I feel like that could be a cool way that Alliance helps beat the great lockdown and general good carry from OG side. So I'm excited to see if that works. I don't know if they'll do it or not. It's hard sometimes not to just go autopilot, but yeah, I definitely agree with the panel though. There's a lot of really good strengths in OG's draft. Duel especially is going to be great at securing a lot of kills.
Yeah, I'm loving this Troll Warlord. It's one of my favorite to go into pubs right now. So at a pro level, we'll see what No Tail's going to do with it. I mean, what's Troll's critical thing? Of course, he was kind of dead in the water because Sanjin Yasha was so terrible. Is that still the staple of his build?
Yeah, it's really important to get. I mean, it's kind of tempting to try something like Echo Saber or Helm of the Dominator or something, but it's just so much safer to just go the standard build from before, just because of the extra movement speed mostly. It does have a higher proc chance now, so it's easier to get slows, and it's pretty good on melee heroes when he's in melee form, so it's definitely better. But against the enemy heroes, I mean, there's actually a lot of lockdown coming from them. Sven stun, Kunkka combos, CM disables, shackle shot. It's going to be a pain in the butt. He definitely needs a BKB this game.
How firm of a believer are you with Slacks that, you know, Loda's got a hero with a stun and a sword, it's all over?
I mean, it's nice to be consistent, definitely, just because, you know, the playstyle from game to game is a little bit straightforward, and Lotus succeeds on it, definitely. And especially because that should help them cover drafting things as well, especially because elimination mode gets so weird, right, in the game, just because game to game, you don't have the same heroes. So if you try to keep the same kind of heroes in the game, it should offset a lot of other mistakes that you might make, such as like, you know, not having the same anti-push or tower hitters or something. You're always going to have those same things in mind, basically.
Down bottom, Ward taken out in this little nook of trees. That was Crystal Maiden get in there, try to get some sentry vision, but is going to be knocked down, so going to be slightly in Dyer's favor there. Fly able to take out this Observer as well, so a little bit of gold going to his pockets.
Yeah, that's a really good snag there. EGM was hoping to counteract that a bit with just eating their potential sentry ward to start it off, but didn't work out. Oh, what a huge nuke from S4. EGM's getting way too pressured here.
Down bottom, Torrent being used, nothing going down. I mean, this Crystal Maiden, I worry for her so much. You know, I've been that Crystal Maiden that's so squishy, and on the side of OG, you're going to have Troll, who's going to be speeding after you. Crystal Maiden's going to have a blink. Legion Commander at some point is going to have a blink. I mean, this Crystal Maiden is just fodder.
Yeah, she generally will be, especially in the laning stage like this. Like, she's one of the worst base damage heroes, one of the worst base stat heroes. Limp on the mid lane does end up getting killed finally. It was just a roll in from Jarex there. A good slow and a dagger from Ana. He did get around the Earth Spirit with Windrun, but by the time it had ran out, he was able to keep getting Orb of Venom hits. So pretty big roam there by him. So successful move. Because right now the tri-lane from Alliance is not going so well because of EGM's pressure.
Speaking of pressure, up top, No Tail is just keeping Jonas all the way back. He's opted to go for point number 2 in Fervor. That was a skill pick up at level 2 instead of going for the, you know, whirling axes or whatnot.
Yeah, it's just because it's going to allow him to trade so well against Jonas and Fun, because if they do trade hits with each other, you know that No Tail's going to have way more attack speed. So with the poor man's shield on top of that as well, and he can just do this range mode. Like, look at the advantage here. Like, Omni can't even get close.
Yeah, I mean, he opted to go for that degen, or else he was counting on getting all up into him, running at him, and he just can't even get close right now, so...
Yeah, the Orb of Venom pickup by Troll, by No Tail, is really smart. It doesn't work very well on range. It does less slow, but it does the same damage, so he just has to keep a range advantage against Omni next. The Degenor doesn't matter, and he's set. So it's pretty cool. No Tail's easily winning that lane, which means that if OG can win their dual lane bottom, then they're going to be winning at least 2 out of the 3 lanes, and occasional roam from Earth Spirit as well should solidify a laning advantage win for OG.
Yeah, what's the most crucial thing for Alliance that needs to go right? How do they set themselves up for a really successful mid-game?
I think it comes down to the 2 roaming supports, the Kunkka as well as the Crystal Maiden. Both CM and Kunkka are very good at roaming at all stages, mostly the early game and mid game, certainly. They need to get some good ganks off, and they need to be successful. Because if they don't, they're going to get behind in levels, and then they will get to the point that you were talking about, where Troll and Legion are just blowing up CM repeatedly. She's a hero that has a lot of trouble when playing from behind, depending on the right hero, so... It's going to be a tough game if things keep going weak.
Up top, there is going to be another rotation in by Jerax. We were talking about this phenomenal pick on the Earth Spirit, and that is not going to be an Omni Knight going home to see his family. Another kill here for the side of OG, looking really strong so far.
Yeah, it's so tough for him now. He's only got... Oh, I missed that kill. A solo kill mid. That's actually super huge. Level 5 picked up now. That was an Arcane Rune as well, so Anna's not even losing that much mana to go for that kill. And that's a lane that Wind Ranger could definitely win, certainly, but Anna is wrecking right now. And it wasn't just the roam from Jarex here. He's just been winning the lane.
Yep, Anna might take a little bit of damage here. Cohen has the blink away if necessary, but Limp just going, trying to catch up on farm. In terms of overall farm, our Windrunner is getting slightly more out of the creep wave than our Queen of Pain, but, I mean, kills at this point are so important, and Anna getting that solo kill, it's really tough for Windrunner to get back from that.
Yeah, she can at least farm decently with Power Shot, in some ways better than Queen of Pain, but Queen of Pain's going to be a lot more mobile, moving around the map and trying to get kills. The 2 supports do roam to the mid lane there. It's one of the downsides when you just smoke gank like that.
Oh, we got a double damage Quap. It's going to be X'd up by Hanskin, brought back into the Torrent. Do they have the lockdown necessary? Well, they do.
Yeah.
That's going to be Limp getting some revenge, but having to split the XP a little bit thin on that one.
Yeah, it's okay. The kill is the important thing. It's basically all about the X. They have really good lockdown for the Quap here, between Frostbite preventing the blink as well as X guaranteeing a Torrent stun for 1.6 seconds. So that's the roam that they needed. If they can just keep doing that a few times, they'll be in a good spot.
Yep, they did have to commit, you know, their supports to go to that mid lane, so Loda's been kind of left to his own devices here. He's not getting perfect farm out of lane. He's got 16 last hits there, and you look at the Legion already at 24, so S4 are going to be stacking up a little bit more ferociously than Loda for now.
And looks like Jax wants to try to get the kill. He's level 4 here.
And a couple more swats, and that's going to be a quick kill for Jax. He's going to go ahead and get X'd up, just Hanskin preventing any sort of reinitiation, but this is OG looking really good in this early game right now.
It was a great kill by Jarex there, but the coolest thing that they did was they used Fatal Bonds before they used overwhelming odds, so he took damage from the creeps that also got nuked.
Oh.
So not only does it do a ton of damage, but it did extra.
Limp
Limp
getting
gonna die?
so low right here. Dagger not going to tick him down. They bring in Jonas, and they're able to return it. That's Limp going in with the power shot, getting that much-needed kill on Quap. It looks like S4 just got a little bit overzealous wanting to go for the kill on the Windrunner.
And yeah,
Yep, sorry.
it's definitely. It looks like Quap has a huge advantage there, but all it takes is a support or two to rotate over, and she gets completely shut down. And that's one of the big weaknesses of the hero, is that she doesn't have a built-in way to stop people from doing things like, you know, a shackle shot or a stun or something. She just has tons of damage, so it takes a lot of knowledge of where your opponents are, especially when they have really nice counters like Frostbite and Repel and stuff like that. So Limp getting a lot of help here, and it's paying off big time for Alliance because they need it, especially with Loda dying in the safe lane previously.
Jax is going to be hanging around mid, maybe seeing if there's any sort of initiation they could go for onto this Windrunner, but may opt to just sit back, soak a level or two, and then rotate elsewhere.
Yeah, he'd love to grab it. That's pretty much what Earth Spirits do all game, is they go somewhere where they think they might be able to get a gank and impact on it. Especially if a support shows up, for example, they can counter that. Looks like this Obs Ward might get destroyed.
Ana taken down to about half health. Hanskin's coming in. He's going to be going in, trying to cast the Torrent. Not going to connect. Wasn't able to get close enough to grab the X first, so a little bit of a botched initiation, but at least keeping this Queen of Pain at bay right now.
Yeah, she's still having a bit of a hard time. Jarex with the bottle actually this game. Probably just because he's had such a great start so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's just stumbling around the whole map. He can pick up bounty runes as he goes, and that's just free regen.
Yeah, and they're still sitting mid, ready to go in. EGM opting for 3 points in Arcane Aura, so he's just trying to give his team as much mana as possible. I would feel a little better about that, I guess, if the Sven was laning, but it's
Oh,
definitely
shackle
helps
to the
most.
siege creep. Power shot comes in. Ana's able to blink up to the high ground, but has to nurse that bottle up just to be able to get out alive. And that's going to be Queen of Pain stopping to exert that much pressure in the mid, so good push coming out of the Windrunner right now.
Yeah, this power shot, man, it does so much damage. 340 with 3 skill points and 420 once it's actually maxed out. Like, she can't stand up to that if the power shots land.
It's all about
At
getting
one
that set
disable
up.
and she dies. Like, it's so scary for her now.
Yeah, she's really got to rely on that blink, be quick on the fingers, but one shackle, like you mentioned, one good setup, one X, it is going to be really tough for that Quap to get out of this without the help of her
It's gonna be cool.
supports. Going back in, Jarex trying to roll in onto Limp. There's going to be some TPs in from the Radiant. They want to prevent any sort of reinitiation here. It looks like with Hanskin coming in, maybe they can go in for something onto this Quap. But nope, just content to go back and keep on farming.
No-Tail pressure in the top lane with his stolen Wildkin here. Just does some really good AoE damage and some armor bonus as well to No-Tail.
Yep.
Should be, it's a decent way to push.
Down bottom, we are going to have a stun coming back in. That's going to be a really nice kill setup onto that Legion Commander. Keeping her slowed down. S4 has had a ton of time to solo farm in the bottom, so he definitely needs to get checked there. Good work on Alliance, rotating him if they need, but there's going to be the Quap coming in, unloading the ult, easy kill onto the Crystal Maiden, and now it's just Limp running away.
Yeah, this is a little scary. He's got a shackle here and a power. Okay, this could
Hits
do
the
something.
trees, and now they've got Jonas. Do they have the nuke damage that they need? Quap blinks back towards the wave. There's a little bit of chip damage coming in. Jerax, meanwhile, rolling away into this neutral camp. Ana getting pinged out by the rest of the Radiant. Can they go in? They've got the X. They're going to cast the Torrent as well, and Limp should be able to finish this one off, and it's going to be split among the Radiant heroes, but a necessary kill for Alliance.
Yeah, Anna's just having a tough time reacting to the reactions, basically. Every time she jumps on somebody, she has to get the kill and get out, but he feels like he can almost get kills. He is often getting close, but every single rotation here from Alliance, either offlane or supports, have proved really effective, and it looks like Fly's in a lot of trouble now.
That's just a quirky position for this Warlock to be in the first place.
Yeah, he probably wanted to put a ward down. There was a fight. They probably expected Alliance to move somewhere else, so not too unexpected.
Aw, Dark Troll Summoner. He's getting locked down, iced off by Crystal Maiden. Meanwhile, S4 just taking some damage. This Legion, again, had a lot of free farm as there was mid-rotations going about. Already has Phase Boots, has 1,400 gold towards that Blink Dagger. So S4 is going to have some pretty clutch timings.
Yeah, he had a great start, that's for sure. We'll see if he's able to use it well, though.
Jerax coming in towards his bottom shrine. Limp just walks right into him. Power shot way off the mark. Maybe just clearing out some trees and
Yeah,
letting Jerax
he
off
was
with a
looking
warning.
mid, actually. He was looking at mid, he power shot at the 2 range creeps, so... And he realized, oh hey, there's a guy right next to me.
It's alright.
A little bit moving around a lot as well. Was just top, now shifting back to the jungle. He's going to go Helm of the Dominator this game, probably because he's having a bit of a tough time and also to slightly counteract his opponent's one. I think Helm of the Dominator is actually really good against heroes that are physical based, especially if you can grab like an ice troll or something like that. That kind of a difference can definitely make Helm of the Dominator worth it.
All right, Windrunner looks to be going straight in towards that Maelstrom, just wants more clear, wants a little more damage. Meanwhile, down bottom, we've got a scuffle. S4 is going to go ahead and get shackled as Limp is going to be able to TP in time. There is going to be a boat coming in onto the X. S4 dodging out a little bit of damage, but gets blown up by that Omni Purification.
Watching Kunkka this game, I just always think, why doesn't anybody play Kunkka anymore? He's still so good. X is just amazing at guaranteeing setups here.
That's the kind of drafting elimination mode can bring you.
Look at he's got 4 points in Fatal Bonds too. This could be so good for them.
Dropping down that Golem, it looks like this Omni is just going to completely get comboed down. He's got to Purify if he needs it, but he will still get focused. We've got the Queen of Pain getting very low, focused down by the tower shots. Warlock healing him up, and now Hanskin's going to get chased down, as well as Limp. They're moving backwards. There's a TP in from the Crystal Maiden, but what can she really do? She's got her ult. She's going to try to get it off, but will get silenced. Now EGM chased behind the tier 2 tower. Meanwhile, Kunkka dealing with the wrath of Queen of Pain. It's 2 heroes going down right now. Sven, the only survivor, walking out of his base. That was an unfortunate pick. Alliance feeling a lot less stable after that.
Yeah, I mean, every other engagement went so well, but that kind of teamfight pressure from OG was just hard to stand up against. So if you have 3 heroes on the front and the Infernal Golem drops down and everybody in OG is running at Alliance doesn't have very good heroes for stopping them from running straight at them. It's basically just what Omni Knight, maybe Sven, but Sven's not really farmed enough to deal with that yet. And without something like a BKB, he's not going to feel comfortable fighting that.
Down bottom, Sven's going to be TPing in. Again, another nice shackle. S4 completely punished, wanted to get the tower down. Oh, that's got to be tragic for him. 1 shot away from getting that tower. It does get denied, and that's going to be Legion Commander's 3rd death in lane.
Yeah, and that would have been his Blink Dagger as well. Those kind of picks are really changing the tempo of the game. This amazing dual lane that OG had is just so much harder now.
That's so brutal. Now Jerax, by himself, Limp is maybe thinking about going in for a shackle, going in for a power shot, but they know that OG rarely rotate completely alone. They usually operate in that buddy system.
Yeah, and Alliance has done a lot of that as well this game. They're going to try to go in Loda here, I think. This is kind of tough. They need more backup, yeah. And they've got S4.
Oh, Courier flopping in there. It's just going to be left in lane, and now Loda going back. Ana with the double damage rune finishes off the Courier. Crystal Maiden is ulting from within the trees. This is a really nice ult. Ana gets low from the power shot, able to wrap around. Jerax as well, getting very, very low. Loda, even though he's in God Strength form, he's just looking for something. He's just ambling around and can't find anything, and he will be focused down. EGM, now one of the only Radiant heroes still here, going to get focused down a bit, but is able to TP away, as there's not a whole lot of reliable lockdown on the side of OG.
Oh, that ultimate was so good from CM, but they just weren't quite close enough, and there was no follow-up to kill the Queen of Pain. So, and Loda just got super creep locked by all the creeps running around in the trees. That was really unfortunate for him, but he was kind of forced to fight there. And again, the pressure continues. That's the hero that kind of needs to get farmed. At least Limp's doing very well. That's a good sign for Alliance, because he can transition into ganking as well, but Loda's got to be a bit worried here. He's just getting consistently kited and nuked down.
Yeah, it's not great. Slacks, you may have to revise that strat over Loda getting a sword and a Q stun, but I mean, he's doing all right. He's going to go in for that Echo Saber after picking up his Strength Treads. Is this going to be a game where BKB is ultra necessary, or does he just need to stack up his damage?
BKB's definitely very good, but it can be a little iffy. I mean, the Warlock Golem stun will go through it. You can duel the Sven if you really want to. Troll Warlord is doesn't really care that much about magic immunity. He'll just auto attack you. I mean, Sven's decent, very good at taking physical damage, but I feel like the BKB has definitely some positives and negatives, but he's mostly got to be worried about the Earth Spirit disables, in my opinion.
Oh, Jerax rolling right in onto EGM. CM was trying to be so sneaky, going in for another one of those ults from the trees, but she's going to be completely surrounded. The duel comes out as well, and that's going to be the first duel victory for S4.
Oh, there's a disruptor in this game. Interesting. I didn't know that. Huh. Got the cast range talent. I don't know who that was supposed to be. We'll see. Who's level 10?
Looks like our Sven just hit it.
Okay. Looks like Wind Ranger got the mana regen. I'm disappointed, but that's okay.
Oh.
We might get a kill mid here. This would be a huge one.
Yeah, it's going to be
It's going to be close.
boat dropped in. Ana going to get focused down, so Hanskin picks up the gold for that one. Going to be a nice 500 gold.
She was so close to blinking away there. That was insanely close. She was halfway through her animation. If she just dodged the boat, she lives. Very clutch kill there.
Looks like Hanskin has picked up the urn, and we're seeing that item a little bit more now. Just, again,
yeah, it's because
really
it's good. Oh, more disruptor. Alright, I think we're broken. UI's broken.
Puka, come on, man.
Somebody messed something up. I have a feeling every time we see a talent tree, it's going to be Disruptor.
I think that's
Nothing
pretty good.
too weird yet, talent-wise at least. I'm looking around, but I'm not really... There's not even that many level 10 heroes yet.
Oh, EGM goes in trying to ward up or get some vision or free farm or something, but S4 hot on her heels, has that blink dagger up, but opts to back out there. Maybe getting curious. The
Yeah.
rest of Alliance, we're pooling around.
There's always that threat, you know, oh, if I chase this guy for 30 seconds, their whole team is going to be there. It may not happen that often in pubs, but in pro games, I guarantee it. So even though what EGM did there was a little dangerous, ultimately he's covered by his allies. And the important thing is the movement speed, really. He didn't get his tranquil boots interrupted, so the Legion wasn't able to catch up. So for now, OG's just going to kind of push out the lanes and do a decent job farming, most likely. Especially No-Tail, he's going to farm really rapidly. He's opted for a Dragon Lance, actually. A slightly different build than we've seen from Troll. I was wondering if this would be built in, but makes his range very good, and his melee okay. It's not
He's
the
going
best
for the full
melee
Hurricane
item.
Pike, at least seems to
Yeah.
be suggesting so.
I think it's because of the Sven, because if Sven is ever in melee range and getting a little dangerous, he can always just push them away, and it's kind of like having a slow or a utility item against Sven. It'll give him advantage, damage-wise, but also he can just save himself. And not to mention, if he gets X torrented or something, he could force himself after the X, for example. There's a lot of really good ways to utilize the force this game, so it maybe isn't the highest damage item for Troll, but I think it'll be a good solution.
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly off to a fantastic start. Did not get bullied a lot in lane. That's going to be a real easy Aegis for him.
Yeah.
And this is OG saying, all right, let's push. We got nothing to wait for.
Yeah, there's still really good wards on the map by Alliance, so they're controlling the midpoint of the map, so they will see OG when they cross the river, which should limit things like dual damage going to the Legion Commander or ganks from the Huap.
TP's in, coming in. Limp does not want to mess around, wants to go straight onto No-Tail, lands a really nice shackle, but they've got to watch out. The Warlock has his golems in the area. EGM on the back lines. They're going to pop the Aegis immediately. Can this troll get out of here? A boat going to be dumped onto his freshly respawned corpse. Meanwhile, S4 threatening on a duel. The golems are going to be dropped. S4 is still thinking about the perfect initiation. Guardian Angel comes out on the back line. There is going to be the Warlock going down. Jerax rolling to safety. And the rest of OG bailing out. They do end up getting the X onto the Queen of Pain. She can't do anything about that. So Ana just going to try to run for safety. S4 still feeling like, do I go in? Do I back out? And it seems to be a clean escape from OG. They lose 2, but it could have been a lot bloodier.
Alliance collapsed on that so well this game. That was amazing. The ward's in great position as well, spotted the 2 heroes being aggressive, and in all honesty, that was kind of a greedy place for OG to farm, especially without ward vision there. Like, if you look at the vision that OG has, it's actually not very good right now. So sitting in that kind of position with their Aegis, again, with a hero like Troll, who's really very fragile before BKB, that was pretty dangerous, and Alliance profited from it very well.
All right, and now Alliance, they're just going to take that momentum and run with it. They're going in towards this bot lane, and that will be their first tower of the game if they can actually snap it up. But again, it is still scary. The rest of OG are now respawned. They've got a shrine nearby, a tower to TP to, so Alliance think better of this. They don't want to throw away any lead that can amass right now.
Okay, and Earth Spirit goes for Midas. We saw this earlier today as well, so maybe a new trend here for Earth Spirits just to get as farmed as possible. I think it's fairly reasonable to do this as well because Earth Spirit does scale well with farm, but it's not like he needs a Blink Dagger for his hero to be at all reasonable. So I think it's fairly justified to go this build on Earth Spirit now. But OG's still got to be scared about the fights. They haven't gotten that many duels. In fact, S4's only got 10 damage from duel this game, and he hasn't even finished his Blade Mail just yet. So Alliance is just going to move around, group it heavily. That way they can cover you.
All
what
right,
are we missing? Was
the
it
Chinese
Disruptor?
casters really want to purchase that Sage's mask.
Oh, for who?
Chinese cat, I don't know. Looks like, I mean, Queen of Pain's building up into that Orchid, so there's a Sage's mask involved in that.
They want her to purchase another Sage's mask.
She needs it, apparently.
Who needs TP scrolls when you could have another Sage's mask? How many masks can you wear though? I mean, he's got a Veil of Discord already. Like
you get a Mask of Madness, get the helm.
Like at some point, the
Satanic?
hats stop fitting on your head. Anything? Oh, No-Tail's still going SNY, surprisingly. I thought he would probably stay away from it because Hurricane Pike kind of covers similar things, but I guess he just wants as much movement speed as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at the kind of damage that OG have, they need someone that just consistently runs at you, and I think the Troll Warlord's going to fill that role quite nicely. I mean, the Legion is going to blink in tactically, go for those duels, and she can do a little bit of the front lining, but you kind of got to have No-Tail in his proper stance, just a complete madman.
I agree, but it's just with this much disable from Alliance, Shackle against a melee hero is so easy to land in most cases because he's always coming towards you. Torrent X Frostbite even, Nova. Like, there's so many disables coming from Alliance. At some point, he's obviously got to buy a BKB, but I think he's going to delay until after the SNY to do it, most likely. He'll farm faster this way, but for team fights until then, it's not going to be good. And maybe that just shows that OG doesn't feel comfortable about team fighting because of it.
Sven committing his God Strength for the top tower. The fortify from the Dire are going to slow that down a little bit, but it looks like Alliance will still get their way with this tower. A little bit of a tier 2 for tier 2 strat, and it seems like Alliance are going to be the ones to chicken out first and TP to their tier 3s.
Yeah, they'd rather do this for now. I think they're looking decent going into the late game, so...
Hellbear, he did nothing wrong.
I forgot those are worth 125 gold now to the nerf Helm of the Dominator. It makes CM actually very good against Helm of the Dominator heroes.
Yeah, all she has to do is Frostbite, and that's easy money for her. The jungle comes to her. She doesn't even have to leave the safety of her high ground.
No kidding. That's a lot. She's got a free Midas, basically. Did go for the damage perk. A little interesting, but maybe could have gone for magic resistance. Hard to say, though. Hence getting undergrab. No!
No-Tail doing a lot of work against the tower. Baits out the Kunkka. The duel going to be slower than he'd like, but look at that damage coming in from the golems. That's going to secure another duel victory for our Legion commander. And now all of Alliance just scared up onto their high ground. The tier 2 tower goes down, and they've now got a Warlock Golem to push out with. This is going really well for OG. I mean, the kill score is close to even. The net worth isn't balling out of control, but OG just, they've got that confidence, and they've got that scalability that I feel like Alliance just don't have when they're confined to their high ground.
Yeah, they really needed that engagement, though. The crucial moment was the Boulder Smash from Jarex. Basically, the Kunkka's the one that's going to be able to start the fight for sure, and delay it in this like weird, precarious like window thing, where somebody gets X'd and Alliance has a lot of time to find the perfect setup during that. But the Boulder Smash caught 2 heroes, and they were able to do the Golem and Fatal Bonds and the Quap ulti. And at that point, it doesn't matter how farmed your CM is. They're going to get blown up. So it was a really nice fight from OG, and it's safe for them to back off and do that again when they have their cooldowns. They can't just like force high ground and try to end the game like that. So this was a smart move by them to back momentarily.
Yeah, definitely a lot of patience, and of course the later you wait, the bigger the Sven's going to be, but also the Troll and the Legion and the Quap. Like, there's not a huge timer, not a huge crunch for OG to just start breaking high ground ASAP.
Yeah, it's mostly about trying to play the map correctly. There's a lot of really strong team fight utility things coming from Alliance.
Limp blinking forward is going to get silenced and stunned up by Jerax, but able to at least survive through it. This tower getting whittled down. Jerax blinking in, trying to force out some disables.
No-Tail's going to run into EGM in any second here.
They're just munching their way through the trees. The tower goes down. It's going to be going the way of Limp. Some more gold towards that Wind Ranger, who's now working on her Ags after picking up the Maelstrom and Blink. And smoke up from Alliance, reinitiating here towards this mid lane. What do you think about this?
This is a good move. They're ready to fight. They've got Guardian Greaves as well as on Omni Knight, so he's covered against the Quap Orchid. They just got to get somebody. EGM breaks smoke on the tower. He doesn't yet have his force either, so Alliance just wants to take engagements and win with their superior lockdown and their Omni Knight. That's a really good way for them to take engagements, but it helps. Whoever initiates first is probably going to win most of these fights just based on the burstiness of both teams.
Look at Jerax using this illusion to bait out all those spells. It was going to be an X, a Torrent, Crystal Maiden dropping the Nova, so easy mana burns.
Successful gank.
They got him.
I think they got like 13 gold or something.
Dude, that is totally worth. Look at that net worth spike right there from that illusion.
It was huge. Are we still seeing Disruptor consistently for you too?
I don't see it on my screen, just the way we're hooked up.
Okay.
Are you guys seeing Disruptor? It's fixed now. It is fixed. Thank you, Buka.
I'll believe it when I see it. I probably have to restart.
Let's take a look at our levels and see who's doing well. Our Troll is going to be top of the board, level 17 already, compared to the highest level 15 on Limp. So it looks like OG just, again, getting a lot out of the map, using it really smart, using it to their advantage. And it's going well for OG, but we'll see how Alliance can hold. Like you mentioned, their team fight's great. They just got to get it started off on the right foot.
Yeah, and I think that's actually one big way that OG has an advantage is that the gank from OG doesn't take more than like 2 heroes, whereas on Alliance's side it takes a bit more, which means it's harder for them to get perfect circumstances to get a kill. So OG doing split pushing and farming across the map, they should be a little bit safer and farm a little bit faster there, because it's mostly just going to be Sven and Wind Ranger getting farm on Alliance's side, since Omni's kind of like a supporty type offlane.
No-Tail just picks up the Sanj for his Sanj and Yasha, has that completed, and he's going to go straight into BKB like we talked about earlier.
Yeah, it really paid off actually, because they obviously lost a couple of those early fights, but finally getting a duel off here. S4 using Blade Mail, it's a really good way to get that done.
That was my bad, 100%. I was like, why is Troll ulting? And then, down bottom, we got a kill. S4, he's going to be chased down. will get smacked apart. Crystal Maiden committing her ult for this, really wanting to make sure they've got the damage it takes to get that Legion Commander, and that's going to be Loda finally picking up his first kill of the game.
Yeah, totally fine for them to trade like that. That was a good move by S4.
Unless he continues to push forward. Anna's waiting there in the wings, Jerax as well. And they've got Fly ready to drop the golems. All of Alliance are relatively clumped up. No Tail moving forward. Will take a Stormhammer to the face, but this is just going to be Fly dewarding as No Tail chases. No Tail is completely alone in this engage. Anna blinks forward and is able to contribute. Jerax thinking about rolling in. Hanskin using that Glimmer Cape to his advantage. Tries to escape. Will take the Quap's dagger. He's slowed down, but OG have to be careful how hard they push here, as all of Alliance are now respawned, and everyone but CM has their ults.
It might get the Centaur, but that's about it here. No Tail had some trouble getting locked down there. His the Sange never ended up getting to him. Somebody else must use the courier, so they didn't quite have the utility they needed there to get the kill, nor the detection, actually. That Glimmer Cape has been saving people routinely here. But I think OG's still pretty fine with this. They're kind of just poking here and there, trying to find the right leverage, the right opportunity to go in. And it's not that bad. Trolls in the lead for farm, so I think they're happy.
I'm sure there's someone in chat that's been keeping track. How many creeps has No Tail sent to their deaths in this game so far?
It's been a couple.
It's been quite a few, especially with that CM, like you mentioned. The jungle comes straight to her.
With that said, though, she's not that farmed. Just finishing her 4 staff recently, 26 minutes. So it's only, I don't know, maybe double the gold of what the creep would have given normally. Most of them give like 60 to 70 gold. So 125 is not that big of a difference. Just a nice thing to remember when you're playing.
Centaur Central in the Roche pit.
It really is. Centaur party. You gather them from the map and you put them in the Roche pit. They're snacks, special snacks.
Oh man. Either way, both teams you can see sticking very, very close together. OG, they don't want to leave anyone alone to get caught out by Alliance's really nice lockdown. And Alliance know they're squishy, they're at the mercy of OG's rotation, so may as well all stick together. And this next Roche is going to be a hot topic, about to respawn in about 30 seconds here. Yeah,
it's going to be really big for sure. The engagement, I'd say, maybe favors OG a little bit more, because their heroes are a lot more mobile. They've got Blink on Legion, Queen of Pain, or Earth Spirit. Those 3 heroes are going to be fast. Even Troll, really rapid movement speed. So
we got Fight of the Neutral creeps coming in as the rest of OG are still smoked up. This Mud Golem gonna be moving forward, and they go immediately for the duel on the Crystal Maiden. She never stood a chance. There is a Guardian Angel committed by the Omni Knight, but it's just not enough to save anyone here. The Golems drop down as the Guardian Angel ends. There's a Repel committed onto the Sven, but Loda's still taking a lot of damage. He's moving forward, wants to find a kill, and looks like Fly will get stunned up by the Mud Golem Boulder Toss. Oh, the Sven wants to stay alive so desperately, but just can't muster it, and Hanskin goes in, is able to cast the X. Is Glimmer caped up, but S4 still hot on his heels. Is he going to be able to catch this up? There's a Shackle blink in from Limp, trying to at least distract everyone, so maybe the Kunkka gets out alive, and so far it's going to be successful. Hanskin is still up in these trees.
It was a great initiation there by S4. To grab the Crystal Maiden gave them so much advantage, and the biggest loss there for Alliance was that the Omni blinked forward to use Guardian Angel to try to save the CM, but it wasn't enough. She got killed anyways, mostly because of the Sonic Wave damage. So
yeah, that's pure damage, but either way, that's going to be OG retreating to go straight into the Roche pick and pick up another Aegis for No Tail. I mean, Alliance, the kills aren't abysmal, the net worth isn't abysmal, but Alliance are so confined to their base right now. You see the initiation attempt coming in from Kunkka, but he's going to get focused down to half health, has to Glimmer Cape away. The Roche is still alive. Anna's still working on it. EGM going to ult from this cliff. Very, very nice ult. They're able to find the kill on the Legion. Legion has buyback, and now we are going to have Alliance make their way into the pit. Maybe a little bit ambitious coming out of this Windrunner. Meanwhile, Loda is going to grab the Aegis. The Radiant kill the Roche. This is a huge play for Alliance. They're able to snipe down the Troll from outside the pit. This is game-changing here. Alliance, they're on it. They're on fire. They've got the momentum, and Limp is going to keep chasing. Fly is going to go ahead, get X'd up, get Stormhammer, and they're going to be able to take out the Warlock as well. Jerax, the only one to get out of that fight. That was OG just tossing away that lead they had right there.
And the amazing thing is that all basically started from S4 approaching the shrine to try to get a duel off. He chased a little bit too far, and as a result, when he got X back, it was completely in a great position for EGM's amazing ult to chip him down. He ends up dying, and then an amazing Blink Sven steal there with the stun. He also got the last hit on Roche, so not only did they get the Aegis and wipe all of OG, they also got the gold swing from her. Just a beautiful play from Alliance.
Look at that net worth chart. That is almost vertical right now. It's making it just about, in the next couple minutes could be a very even game. Overall XP, let's take a look at levels, because we are just about even on that. You've got 3 level 19s on the board, so these level 20 talents are going to come out very shortly.
we'll see how they impact things. I don't know if any of them will be super huge. Maybe like Wind Rangers or something. But as a whole, really good itemization so far. It all comes down to the initiation, really. Who takes which fight? If OG goes in first, gets a good duel off, they're in a good spot.
It's getting tense right now. Alliance definitely having a huge swing of momentum after that. They can now fight on their side of the map. Although I must say, the OG vision has been really good all game, even bottom lane. You've got this deep observer in the lane just scouting out everything that's going on.
Yeah, it's definitely been good. Alliance does pick up a gem, though. I feel like they've had slightly better vision than OG has, at least in some of the earlier stages. I don't know if that was just dewarding related or not, but with the gem advantage right now, and ideally the blink on Omni, they should be covered to how team fights start. That does a lot, actually, because even if, for example, you Guardian Angel the Sven, it'll protect against Blade Mail reflected damage for his auto attacks as well. So that hero alone should counter what the Legion provides. So as long as Alliance keeps the lanes pushed out and grouped as 5, they should have a huge advantage. And especially with Aegis on top of that, they're in a great spot.
Yeah, Loda's still got his Aegis, and he can pick up his Demon Edge really soon. That's going to be a full data list for him. We talked about Loda needing to really maximize his damage output, and that is sure as hell a great way to do it.
Yeah, interesting. He's going not completely. You obviously want crit on this hero, but against the Troll Warlord, this could be an issue because he does have a really good blind.
Boulder comes through, cancels Loda's TP, so he's just got to stroll right out of there. Jonas sticks with him, is able to purify and repel him if things went wrong, but that's just making sure that Alliance can't get back. They're going to have a difficult time defending this last tier 2.
I didn't see whether or not Jarek saw that he stunned and canceled the TP, because the rest of OG did back from top, so I think they were not completely confident. In fact, the way that Jarek is playing right now, he doesn't even want to Midas these creeps. He's scared.
He's spinning around. He's got it. There he goes. Nice Midas, bro.
So waited long enough, eventually do spot the Alliance hero, so he feels comfortable to come forward. So I mean, as much as you have that desire, like, my Midas is off cooldown, I need this. Dying would also make a huge issue, because then if Alliance was still there, they could just kill Jarek's, take the tier 3, destroy shrines, and then OG would lose almost all map control as a result. So the next fight is super crucial, especially if it's on OG's side of the map.
Loda,
Really, for either team, that could be the case.
Holding on to his god strength. He wants to see if he can whittle down this tower without using it. And right now, Jarek's thinking about that initiation. The rest of OG, they're waiting on their high ground. They're going to let this final tier 2 flop down without much of a fight.
Yeah, this is not the place to fight. They want to fight in base, if anywhere.
Loda gets hit by the Veil, but he's still tanky enough. Like a, Quap Scream of Pain is not going to be doing enough to cut through that.
Alright, that's why Jarek's bought Yules. Makes perfect sense. He can save himself against the X marks the spot.
Oh. Long range boulder kick will connect onto Omni Knight, but again, still not something OG can jump onto and capitalize.
So it's just very hard for them to initiate like this when the people that are trying to bait out the X, for example, have Yules. They even have, obviously, Legion Commander, so if somebody does get X'd back to Torrented, he can just remove the Torrent stun and they can instantly try to get out with a Force Staff or Walking or something. BKB as well on Legion, so he's covered against a lot of the disables that Alliance has. So they're starting to get the items they need to take fights, I think. The big one's certainly going to be an eventual BKB from Troll, but he's even delaying it further because he felt a little ahead. He's thinking about going Scotty next, which would be a fantastic item, but I'm still worried about the lack of lockdown.
Loda's Aegis about to get reclaimed, has like another 30 seconds or so. What's going to be the next major jump point? Is this going to wait for the next Roche, or is it going to be waiting for OG to leave their base? Because this is a very patient game right now.
It's all about getting a kill, because net worth is a really big deal, and it's very close right now. But whoever is playing 5v4 has a much higher chance of actually forcing a good engagement, high ground. So both teams are going to wait until the right moment. So basically, Alliance had to back there because the other waves on the map were pushed out. So they'll back up, they'll farm temporarily, they'll push the waves again, then they'll try to get a pick. And in the meantime, OG's going to try to get their own.
Jarek's going in really deep here into the Radiant Ancient Pit, scouts out that it has just been farmed down. EGM's going to ping himself. Ana moves forward. Jerax wants to get the pick onto this easy little EGM and will be able to do so. EGM actually escapes with his life. Meanwhile, the rest of the fight happens over here behind this little cliff, and it is going to be Windrunner going down. Crystal Maiden Bry's back, and that's going to be a very dead Sven. Loda just can't escape the slow of Warlock, and this is OG just showing their power in this game. When they rotate together, when they get those pickoffs that they need, they can wipe very easily.
Yeah, that was a kind of a big mistake from Alliance here, not expecting a smoke from OG. I think this was their movement was timing related based on the Aegis, because killing Sven right here, he just lost it. So they probably took timer, they moved across the map to try to take a fight so that if they killed Sven, he would die about the same time it dies. And because they got initiated on, lost all their cores here, that's going to probably be some buybacks. Yeah, there's one
Yeah, CM already bought back, and now we can see Sven rejoins the party, and that's all OG want. They get there, they get their kills, they force buybacks, and they're backing out after placing some really nice wards. I think one of the reasons Alliance got so caught off guard is that they have offensive wards. They've got really aggressive vision into the dire side of the map, but this is what they see. Their own side of the map is pretty much dark.
That's such a big little series of events here. I mean, they were 200 net worth difference not even 2 minutes ago, but that fight and the buyback, 6,000 gold advantage. They would love to catch somebody. Alliance, their smoke is going to break. That was on EGM here. Maybe not the best person to lead, but they don't really have the best initiators, to be honest. The best one is certainly Wind Ranger, but she's got to push lanes half the time because the other heroes can't do it super well.
Now Ana going to be caught out here, but nice blink away, very quick reaction, and Hanskin's going to continue to chase this Kunkka. I mean, he got distracted by prey and really wants it. Jerax hopping into this little lane of trees, and he'll be able to make it back safely. So right now Alliance, they're walking around, they're ready to hunt, but they're just not finding any prey.
Yeah, so this is how OG will probably play the game. Leave the base, take a fight. Leave the base again, take a fight. Once they spot their enemies on the wards, they'll spot them now. They still see Limp moving through the mid lane. They'll cross the map now. Get some map control of their own. Jarek's very close to Ags. In fact, he's got it as soon as he uses Midas. OG is just farming super well. It's very close net worths across the board, though. Everybody's kind of mixed in together.
No tail able to go through, just picks up his Scotty. He's also the highest level in the game at 22, and has opted to go for the 40 damage. I mean, I think that's a pretty solid play from a troll whose main job is just do the damage.
Yeah. And he's already got all of his items are basically like hybrid stat items, so which means that he does pretty good attack speed and pretty good damage, but not amazing damage. So grabbing plus 40 damage on top of that's really safe. He's already bought plenty of strength items, basically, between the Pike, Sanjay Nasha, and the Ice Scotty. In fact, I'm kind of curious what his last item will be. Maybe I could definitely see something like a butterfly, perhaps, just for some evasion. It would be kind of nice against like Wind Ranger and stuff. But he could also do something like maybe Diffusal Blade is a decent idea at this point. That way he can remove Guardian Angel and also remove Windrun from Windrunner when she uses it. There's a lot of good advantages there that could be strong.
Is there anyone else on OG that would be better suited to grab a Diffusal, or is it really on Troll if they want one?
I mean, it's pretty much perfect on Troll. He's an agility hero, so he still gets the damage from it. It works in ranged and in melee form. It gives him even more slow, basically, against his opponents. I think it's a great option in this game. But he may be more desired to go like a hard damage, like a Daedalus or a Monkey King Bar. Might be safer, but it kind of depends. Butterfly might not work. The Wind Ranger has Monkey King Bar queued up. She knows what might come next. So, and either way, it's a great item on Wind Ranger. So,
yeah, she's doing well. She's farming up for her team. She's the highest net worth on her team, but this troll still seems like he's capable of squishing everyone.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Especially in a one-on-one fight, he could beat any hero in the game right now, just because he's already running at 460 movement speed without phase, and he can Scotty slow, and he can Sanjay Nyasha slow, which means that Sven basically has no chance against Troll unless Sven jumps in and blows him up in like 4 hits. But even that, I don't know if that's very possible, unless he cleaves through somebody else. That way he ignores the armor. But it's a tough fight for Alliance, and their heroes that were so good at like the 10 to 20 minute mark, they're falling off a little bit. Heroes like Kunkka are going to start having problems against Glimmer Capes, BKB, stuff like that. CM has absolutely the same problem, and she hasn't really accelerated in farm at all. So it's getting harder and harder, I think, for Alliance to take fights. They haven't been able to use the Wind Ranger too much just for getting kills, is kind of what it seems like. She has certainly in the early mid game, and she's been farming a lot. But one of the best things about her as a carry is if you have good ward vision and you can continue getting solo kills throughout the game.
So we're getting to a little bit of a later point in the game. You know, we're 35 minutes in. We could go another 35 minutes if this game is going to keep up with certain paces. What are the level 25, 20 talents that are going to start to really shake things up?
Well, the Sven one I don't think is going to matter too much. Stuns are very good, though. The Wind Ranger 25 is pretty much always you grab the attack range if you're anywhere resembling a carry, so I'm absolutely sure she'll grab that for her team. I still kind of wish that she had the Wind Run slow a little bit, because right now her mana aura is kind of wasted, and 25% slow is pretty incredible. Extra slow, that is. So I don't know, maybe that was a mistake, but on the Dire team, no tells. I think magic resistance is certainly an option this game. It also depends how much he delays getting BKB, but Whirling Axes are also really good, because that would basically allow you to permanently blind the Sven, absolutely force him to buy either BKB or a Monkey King Bar. So there's a lot of questions that could be decided on Queen of Pain's probably going to grab Spell Life Steal, but maybe Shadow Strike cooldown would be good too, just because she would be able to permanently slow Sven once BKB ends. There's a lot of kiting things that could happen this game that'd be interesting.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of mobility shaping up. Here we've got our Dire. I mean, they would certainly love to take this Roche. The Alpha Wolf is going to scout it out. Got about a minute left. So OG, they are ferociously guarding this.
Yeah, and they're trying to set up wards for 2. Fly gets one down, doesn't get spotted. He's in a good spot as well. I like the Solar Crest pickup. It's very good to help one of his heroes stay alive. I mean, like Quap or something. If she gets out of position, that could absolutely save her.
Troll ult being used just to clear out some camps, clear out this wave, and OG take their place on the map on the Radiant side of the turf.
Yeah, more jungling. Shadowblade next for Legion Commander. This is kind of the period of the game where actually finding those ganks is very difficult sometimes. Like, if you have a ward there and you can blink for it and get the duel, it's fine. But in a lot of cases, there's a lot of places on the map where there isn't a ward, or you might not know where a hero is farming, where Shadowblade will help you like scout out that area of the map and see if you can get a duel. So it's a nice item transition, even though if it seems a little counterintuitive to have both Blink and Shadowblade.
Yeah, OG, again, like you mentioned, really keeping up on the wards. This is what they're seeing on the Alliance side of the map. They can see pretty much everyone right now, and they definitely saw all the heroes move through when they rotated out of their base, so we'll see what kind of information they're going to get from that. Meanwhile, Alliance, they get word that Roshan is back up, and they are heading right to the pit. This is going to be the third Roche, so Aegis and Cheese, OG, they've got the opportunity to TP to the shrine, but they just can't get there in time, and that's going to be snatched right out from under their nose.
Yeah, I would say this is maybe one of the first tactical mistakes here by OG. They kind of spread out too much. They showed that they had a core bottom as the Legion Commander, and they showed that they had Queen of Pain on the top creep wave. So because they were separated like that, I think it makes it a little bit more, makes Alliance feel a little bit better about trying to take it. And they just do insane damage between Focus Fire and Sven with the Daedalus. So they do use God Strength for that, which will make them a little scared for 40 seconds or so, but it was absolutely needed there in that moment.
Interesting that now both Sven and Windrunner have MKB queued up. Is that going to be necessary?
Yeah, absolutely, because of the Troll Blind. Especially with the level 25 perk. If you have permanent 60% miss chance, you're going to lose the fight.
Global Guardian Angel being used down bottom to try to defend against the duel. The duel will not go through, but the Aegis is now going to be burned, and the rest of OG back off for now. So at least saving the Sven from actual death.
How did he even die? My god.
He just got jumped, man. OG, they're around.
I guess Legion hits really hard right now. 124 plus 170.
They also committed the Sonic Wave for it.
There was the Guardian Angel a little bit late or something. Maybe Blade Mail does go through Guardian Angel. I assumed it didn't because it's physical, but I don't know. I'll have to go check that later. Either way, huge kill. That Aegis is gone, so that's a team fight advantage that's gone now for Alliance.
Look how aggressive OG are being. They're really trying to wait until Alliance just step a toe into the mid lane. But looks like they're going to be going top. In fact, chasing down No Tail. Hanskin's Glimmer caped up, maybe looking for the connect onto that X marks the spot. But like you mentioned, No Tail's movement speed is 464 base without phase boots.
Yeah, he hits max movement speed when he uses phase boots. It's pretty incredible.
Sanj and Yasha will do that to you, man.
Yeah, it's really good. Sanj and Yasha plus any other movement skills as well. I mean, Berserker's Rage gives him 40 movement speed. It's a fast hero. Not a very smart one, but he's very fast.
Now, Gem on Warlock, they were able to take out an Observer here, but missed the Sentry, so Radiant still have a little bit of information near that Roche pit.
Yeah, it's slightly a mistake. They don't have a lot of super mobile heroes that can like blink up and force down immediately, so it's dangerous to commit to seeing if there's a ward there. So it's kind of hurting OG a bit. Were you talking about the one on the cliff or the one by Roche?
I was talking about the one by Roche, but they did miss the one on the cliff as well. They didn't rotate that deep to be able to scout it out.
Yeah, it's just very safe wards from Alliance, and I think it's a very good idea. It's sometimes when you're doing mind games with enemy teams and trying to think about, where do I ward so they don't find it, sometimes just putting them on the super obvious spots saves you a little bit. And I would say against really good teams that usually doesn't help, but like I said about the mobility thing, maybe Earth Spirit could have found it with a rolling boulder up and a blink down, for example, but that place is so close to the tier 2 tower that's just so unsafe for them to try to check that cliff. So in some ways, Alliance can just kind of hang out in that area of the map, gives them a little bit more map control than they'd have without that tier 2. But it still comes down to the fights. Can they push out the lanes? Who's going to find who? OG as a whole is going to stick together, and Alliance will do the same too.
Absolutely. This is going to be one of those, one team's going to get up their confidence going for the high ground, get slaughtered, maybe the team pushes back, and then I think this could be a pretty back and forth game. I mean, no team has an ultra decisive advantage right now. OG are in the lead by about 10,000 gold, 15,000 experience, but, for a 40-minute game, that's not way out of whack.
It's not super out of whack, but it can definitely matter. And usually those kind of advantages where I'm looking at is the support heroes. Do the supports have stupid amounts of items? Because those are heroes that normally only have like 1, 2, maybe 3 items at this point. But here's Jarek's like 6 slotted already at
Smoke
42
up.
minutes, and it's only going to get scarier. Because eventually those are going to turn into things like Sides of Isis and Shiva's Guards and crazy good team fighting. So aggressive ward placed by Fly here. He does spot theirs, but they need somebody to kill it. They can maybe bait with this by them knowing that their opponents have a ward. They might actually approach it. They don't though. So if they get the ward killed.
Centaur going in, getting the information, Sven. Stormhammer going to be disjointed. Limp actually blinks in and wants to start this fight, and it looks like Legion Commander will be focused down. Is going to be saved temporarily. Guardian Angel comes out from the Radiant side. The BKB showing off from No-Tail. He's just running from the fight. Meanwhile, Ana waiting in the trees till it's time to reinitiate. Loda trying to move forward onto Fly, but Fly's got the golems back up. The duel's going to be coming out from S4, trying to do some work, but S4 barely wins that duel. Gems are going to be on the ground. Jonas continuing to try to run from the fight. The rest of Alliance are just going to get easily focused down. EGM, though, almost dodges out No-Tail. Hanskin's Glimmer caped up. Lincoln's going to be popped all around. Troll tossing out more damage, and there's going to be almost a completely
Huge
clean wipe coming out of OG. They're going to be able to take this last tier 2 tower, maybe even a full lane of racks as well. There's only one buyback on the side of Alliance, and that's on Omni Knight.
It was a really crucial team fight there. The initial Sven initiation was very strong. The Legion looked like he was going to die due to the shackle, even with Jarek's pulling the Legion away, but he chased after, and then all of a sudden he used his actual Ag's ultimate thingy. What's it called? The Enchant Remnant thing, and that absolutely saved the Legion Commander. And he was allowed to reinitiate after the BKB runs out to guarantee the Sven kill. And once Sven's dead, it's so hard for Alliance to win the fight. They need him to jump in and blow up a bunch of heroes, but it just didn't happen there. Everything was all over the place. Alliance was not coordinated on one target, and they weren't able to burst him in time.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it could have been great. If S4 had lost that duel, if Sven had gotten the win there, it would have been a very different fight. But unfortunately, it's not great. Jerax now just booking it away after a full lane of racks are taken. Mid's going to be focused down, and look how hard No-Tail hits. These things are just melting.
And he picked up the 20% magic resistance perk now, so it takes so much magic damage to kill this guy. And he has BKB.
Teammates Lincoln's on him. This is going to be very difficult for Alliance right now. They don't necessarily have the easiest pushers. X back, they're going to be able to grab Ana, who's leapfrogging through the air and will end up living.
2 people grabbed her there, or grabbed him there. 1 X and 1 Geomagnetic Grip. Very good way to save your allies. That's such a good item against Kunkka, really. Think about it. As soon as somebody gets pulled back, you pull them right back.
Crystal Maiden going out. I mean, leaving her turf, I guess, trying to go for some counter wards, but that is a dangerous place to be.
Oh, great shackle.
Shackle's going to connect onto 2. This is actually a nice start for Alliance. They've actually managed to rotate everyone in there, and EGM is dancing. No one's paying attention to her. S4 thinking about maybe going forward for the blink, but just can't get that blink saved up. It just keeps getting canceled. So the rest of OG bail out after they lose their Earth Spirit. He has buyback, but that was, something the Alliance didn't necessarily need to get.
No-Tail is super gone from the fight. So hard for them to actually fight against him. I mean, just even hitting him directly, even with True Strike, they're still having trouble. The little split pushing coming from Ana here. Look at the right click. She hits really hard right now. Lots of int items on his hero, and it's only 1 more barracks to go, so Alliance is going to feel super pressured here.
Oh, Ana getting focused down. The rest of Alliance able to rotate very quickly to get on top of her. On the back lines comes in S4. He's got the BKB rockin', but he's now kiting 5 heroes. They've got Fly there, ready to drop golems if necessary, but they'd rather save him up, and now No-Tail comes in. There's the golems drop. They want to focus down Loda ASAP, because Sven is the key to ending this fight, but Fly, he's going to get 4 staff back, and is maybe going to be able to escape. No, Limp with 1 more shot gets the kill. Blink back.
What's
As
Sven?
now Alliance are going to get cornered. They're wrapped around. They're fighting in a choke point, and that is not advantageous at all. GG called out as it is a full wipe. OG, they come back from what looked like a yucky fight, making it a game-winning fight. Phenomenally played.
Yeah, every single time, as soon as that Sven is dead, the fight is basically over. Limp was not able to carry the game on the back of the Wind Ranger. He got some great shackles in the fights, but it seemed clear that the real brunt of the damage was coming from Sven. So just really cool draft from OG. Their lane advantage was pretty extreme. Alliance had some really good comeback engagements and fights, but ultimately it just led to OG super out-farming them.
All right. Well, again, this is a best of 3 series to determine the winner of the EU side of the bracket. And we're going to go ahead, hop into some quick ads, and our panel's going to break down game number 1.
Jesse. Gonna be making the analysis from a replay.
Hello, this is Fogged. We're going to attempt to describe the 7.00.
Hi guys, Slasher here. In this series, Slasher dissects Phantom Assassin.
My name is Jenkins Dota. I'm currently playing on Team Red.
Place your bets on more than 15 esports games using the worldwide payments and even Bitcoin. We offer 24/7 support and bonuses for every new user. Best esports bets on gg.bet.
Hello, welcome back to the Elimination Mode 3 panel here in the EU Finals. It is OG that takes Game 1 against Alliance. Slacks, an exciting game. Once again, Troll Warlord reigns supreme.
Indeed.